All right, I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight to December 11th, 2012 council meeting. This time, Kevin, I'd like to call the meeting to order at 7:01. Could you please take roll call?
Mr. Dickerson. Here. Ms. Gerber.
Here.
Mr. Campbell.
Here.
Mr. Thacker.
Here.
Ms. Elliott.
Here.
All present.
We could stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to open tonight's meeting on a sad note. We lost a council member, a vice mayor, and a friend last Tuesday night. I know Bob would tell me that he doesn't want a long speech, so I won't make a long speech. In the short time I knew Bob, I grew to love him very much. He cared about this village pretty much more than anyone else that I've seen in a long time. He did make history. It took 80 years for the village to finally pass a liquor law to allow alcohol by the glass so we can bring our fine dining into the village. He would be remembered for that. He led that, he spearheaded that, and he's seen it all the way through. Bob will solely be missed by each and every one of us. And Tish, know that our hearts are with you, and I have a little something I would like to give you. Again, like I said, Bob wanted it short and sweet, so if you would come forward.
I'm going to have a talk with him when I get home.
He set this all up. You do know that.
I wouldn't be one bit surprised.
It says, in memory of Vice Mayor Bob Pollitt, for 22 years of dedication and service to Amelia Village, it was an honor and a privilege to have served together.
Thank you.
And thank you, too.
I'm sure this is more than he wanted you to do, knowing Bob like I do, but my kids are going to treasure this for a long, long time. And if I get to go where he is, I might take it with me.
That would be fine.
Wouldn't it be?
It would be.
Yeah. And I appreciate all your prayers, all your cards. They're stacked up like this. And I've been over through them about 3 times already, and I'm sure I'm going to go a lot more times. And I don't think I can keep it together too long, so I'm not going to stay at your meeting very long.
That's fine. Know if there's anything that you ever need that this village will stand behind it.
I know that, and Bob was aware of that also. And hopefully I won't have to call you, but if I do, I know where I got to go.
All right.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Todd.
you, Tish.
Thank you all. Thank you. And don't forget, you need a committee member. I can do it.
Thank you, Tish. And again, I ordered the flags last Tuesday at half-mast, and they will be flying at half-mast until Tuesday this coming week. So. Moving on to legislation, in front of you is 0-2012-49, amending section 30.08 of the Public Records Policy. That will be the second reading, but I have a we need to do this as an emergency.
If you would like to adopt it tonight.
What's council's feelings? Would you like to go ahead and adopt this?
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it.
I'll go ahead and read it. Amelia Village, Ohio Ordinance 0-2012-49, an ordinance amending Section 30.08 of the Amelia Code of Ordinances Public Records Policy, repealing ordinances 0-2008-65 and 0-2010-15, and declaring an emergency. At this time, I need a motion to suspend the rules on 3 separate dates.
So moved.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 5-0.
This time I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 5-0.
This time I need a motion for the adoption of the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second.
The first, second, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 5-0.
Second piece of legislation we have, it also would be a second reading, but if you choose, we can do this as an emergency also, if that's what you'd like to do.
I don't see a problem with emergency on this one.
Anybody else? If not, I'll go ahead and read it. Ordinance number 0-2012-50, an ordinance amending the Amelia Village Personnel Policy Manual, repealing the particularized policy manuals for police, public works, and administrative personnel, and declaring an emergency. This time I need a motion to suspend the rules on 3 separate readings on 3 separate dates.
So moved.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 5-0.
This time I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 5-0.
This time I need a motion for the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 5-0.
Next piece of legislation is ordinance 0-2012-52, an ordinance by the Council of Amelia Village, Ohio, making supplemental appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2012 for Amelia Village. At this time, I need a motion to suspend the rules on 3 separate dates.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Kevin, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 5-0.
This time I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, Kevin.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 5-0.
Next piece of legislation is ordinance 0-2012-53, an ordinance by the Council of Amelia Village, Ohio, adopting the temporary annual appropriations of village funds for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2013 for Amelia Village. This time, I need a motion to suspend the rules on 3 separate readings on 3 separate dates.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 5-0.
This time I need a motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion to adopt it.
Second.
First and a second, do I have any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 5-0.
This next piece of legislation you have, we had to repeal the original ordinance because we did not have a set amount on that contract. All our contracts have to have a set amount. So all this is doing is setting the amount not to exceed. It doesn't mean we have to use that amount of money, but it gives us it gives us a working number to go with. So this is ordinance 0-2012-54, and ordinance repealing ordinance number 02012-51, and authorizing an agreement with Berg Enterprises LLC for snow removal on village streets and declaring an emergency. This time I need a motion to suspend the rules on 3 separate readings on 3 separate dates.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 5-0.
This time I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
First and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 5-0.
This time I need a motion for adoption of the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 5-0.
I know we have a council member that has to leave early, so we'll go ahead and, I'd like to go ahead and do the next. It'll be appointment of vice mayor. Council needs to make a nomination, a second, and then we can do a roll call vote.
Nominate Derek Campbell.
Second.
I have a nomination and a second. Any other nomination? This will be to finish out the term for Bob Pollitt till the first meeting of January, where we'll pick another or a new vice mayor for the year. So just to clarify that.
So you be vice mayor for a meeting?
So if I have no other nominees, I'll go ahead and close the floor. And at this time, I'll take a roll call vote for Terry Campbell's vice mayor.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
And Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Passes 5-0.
Congratulations for 1 month.
Just want to say it's an honor to fill Bob's shoes.
Good luck with that.
I have to really work at it.
So you're going to just go ahead and remain there, and we'll just
Yes.
okay leave this for
Yeah,
Bob
definitely want to.
till January. Okay. And we move. We'll give that to Tish. And how are you doing on time?
I am perfect. If I can leave right now, if that's okay with you, I'll slide out of here. I hate to
Go ahead and
leave early,
excuse
but I got to be in Bethel at 7:30.
Mr. Thacker, thank you for coming.
Thank you. Congrats, Derek.
Thanks.
Good to do a better choice. I won't eat.
We'll go ahead and move on with approval of the minutes. These are the regular
Okay.
session, November 27, 2012.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ah,
Can't take you Make a motion, we adopt.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
Usually it's me, but
second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion over the minutes? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson,
Yay.
Ms. Gerber,
Yay.
Mr. Thacker is left, Mr. Campbell,
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 4-0, one absent.
Committee reports. We just left.
Oops.
Safety,
Nothing to report.
nothing to report. All right. Public input.
Bills.
I thought we approved those already. We did not.
No,
They're not on my agenda.
they're on mine.
They're on mine.
All right. Everybody have a copy of the bill? All right, I do have a copy of the bills. This time I entertain a motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson,
Yay.
Ms. Gerber,
Yay.
Mr. Campbell,
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 4-0, one absent.
All right. Public input. Any public input tonight?
You want to state the name?
Please, yeah. Go ahead, state your name so Kevin can get your name and address down. So,
I'm Janice Wood, and I'm a resident. I'm here in regards to something that's in the new policy in reference to longevity pay. I believe that the chief put out a paper, and he showed it to us. And we were looking at the reason behind longevity pay. And I'm going to represent some of the officers that I've spoke with. We know that the longevity pay is associated with maintaining a qualified, competent, and experienced police force. And it helps in reducing turnover in police agencies. And as of yet, it's been very successful. It's done well. Our newest officer was in 2007. Since then, we have gone 5 years without a raise. Our uniform allowance was changed. The uniform allowance does not cover guns, which can be in excess of $500, holsters at $160 minimum, duty belts and inner duty belts, which are approximately $150, the cleaning of our uniforms, boots, and last but not least, just pens, something that small that used to be supplied for us, but they're no longer supplied. These are all things that we have to pay out of pocket, and they're used on a daily basis. In addition to working 84 hours before we are issued any overtime, we believe that we have given in a lot and accepted. I mean, we know that things are hard, and it's gone to with even our insurance. We have gone from $1,000 out of pocket to $5,000 out of pocket per person. We pay extra out of each paycheck to use a tier that we can't even utilize until we meet this $5,000 deductible, which is $10,000 if you're talking family. The whole point in our policy states that the longevity is to benefit in recognition of the specialized training required of all certified police officers and the extended reoccurring cost and time involved in advanced training requirements and equipping new police officers. This benefit shall be extended to all police officers. And what I'd like to know is what's changed.
as far as
What the purpose of the longevity was for and why it would be taken away.
I know council's been working on the new policy manual. We're just updating and changing things and moving forward. Yeah, it was a decision that was made in the policy manual. As far as some of these other things, something that, we'll address chief with. I know we're looking to purchase guns. We've been doing that for some time now. So, as far as insurance goes, everybody in America is taking a hit on the insurance, and it's not going to get any better. The thing I read today is they were projecting it started out 20 to 30%, now it's a possible 50% increase. So some of those things you're bringing up are good points, but as progression goes in time, those things are just changing.
And I understand that on the insurance. I do believe, I'm sorry, but I can't lump us into the same as somebody who sits in an office and works. We have to stay in shape. We have to do a lot more. We have a lot more contact. I believe that there's been over at least 100 officers killed in the line of duty so far this year. And I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to say one's better than the other. It's just different. So we can't compare oranges to apples, because I have yet to know an office personnel that could put their lives on the line by getting a paper cut or something in the office versus us being out there. And there are differences between us and other employees, and I feel that we're being lumped together with other departments within the village. And I think that we're being compared, as I said, it's apples to oranges.
The only thing I can say is, we'll take all that into consideration, and, I appreciate your concerns.
Thank you.
Any other public input?
Kobe Merle, private citizen, I guess. I have an issue with the seniority, the full-time employees. And so that we know what we're talking about. This is in the current policy that the village has either adopted. At this point, I came in late, so I don't know if you guys have adopted this policy procedure yet, or is being considered. And I have some issues with it, and I just wanted to make my opinions known before moving on and going without being looked into. And so everybody has what we got here. I'll just give you guys a copy. It's the bottom paragraph versus seniority of full-time employees. So we all know what we're talking about. And the issue I have with it, with the full-time employees, is that I've been an employee here for about 12 years full-time. I worked 40 hours a week minimum, and with that's not even considering the overtime that I work on court time and what have you. And when you work that many hours a week over my 12 to 13 years of working here, which I think will be 13 years in February, that comes up to about 28,000 hours at 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year. And when you compare that with a part-time guy, and I don't want to slam on our part-time staff members at all, but when you compare that to our part-time staff members, that's at 16 hours a week, 52 weeks in a year, you're about 1,200, you're about 12,000 hours is what you come up to. So you can see the difference in hours and time of a full-time employee versus a part-time employee. And I kind of look at this policy and I don't understand the thing behind it, because you're in two different pension plans. And you're in Ohio Police and Fire for full-time employees, obviously. PERS, as you guys well know, for part-time employees. And your time won't start until you get into that full-time position. And so with that being said, when we make a policy with the seniority and the way it's understood and been told to me through the chief or what have you, that seniority is going to be based on things that's going to happen here in the village. For an example, if we would happen to have a bank robbery at one of the local banks or what have you, then somebody, and like I said, this is not a slam, but this putting it out there. Somebody with less time in that could have more seniority than me or another officer would have to make a command decision and would be in charge of that scene until either the police chief comes or there's a supervisor ever hired to come into that scene. And with that being said, this person's going to have the weight of the world on his shoulders to make the right decisions and everything. And when you're under the gun like that and you got to make that split-second decision, sometimes the experience has to kick in and you have to make the correct decision. And with that being said, you're a guy that's out there that's been full-time for the 12 years, and now, for me, I've been full-time about 16 years altogether, with counting other jobs and what have you. But I've been there 16 years of full-time law enforcement training and experience. You want the person with the most experience there handling that potential situation or scene or what have you. The seniority will affect me, and then in the long run, the chief just told us that we're going to be basing our shifts, what shift we want to work, based on seniority. If one of our part-time officers is hired, I'll go from being 2 on seniority to number 3 in seniority. So it becomes a juggling act at that point. The thing with the seniority, it would not be different for other agencies. I mean, I worked for an agency, we had 1,100 police officers. I worked for an agency, had 80 police officers. And those agencies, you didn't become, your seniority did not start until you became full-time. So it's not abnormal for that to be, in the law enforcement world, for that to be like it is, like that, where your time starts when you become full-time, unless you're working with another part-time officer or what have you. And here's why I have a little bit of issue with it. In your own, in the council's looking at this policy, you take and explain this to the part-time guy. He's expected to make command decisions under this seniority policy. He's expected to make command decisions over full-time employees here. However, that same employee wouldn't be able to come and work full-time for you without jumping through a bunch of hoops, meaning taking a bunch of tests. And going through a testing process to get hired into full-time. And I just feel it shouldn't be that way. I mean, it's either one way or the other. I mean, your full-time staff members, you know, I believe the seniority should start at the day that you're hired full-time. That's when your career starts in law enforcement, when your retirement starts. Part-time hours don't count in the police and fire. It's got to be your full-time hours before your retirement is kicked in and starts. So I think that's my whole issue on that. I mean, it can't be both ways. If the part-time guy is going to be expected to make command decisions, then they should be acceptable to be hired full-time without going through a bunch of hoops. I mean, and that's my whole issue on this. I mean, with the seniority, like I said, it will affect me directly. And I just wanted my opinion to be out there and let you guys know that, what my opinion is on it, because, I can see, it can make a difference of what, if I want to work night shift versus working day shift or whatever. Because it does affect me, and I think personally, a person that's worked here over a decade should have a loyal full-time, should have some loyalty from the community that they're working for. And that's what I got to say about that. I mean, it's just, I think the seniority issues should be looked at very carefully and considered, because it could put somebody not less qualified, but it could cause a problem down the road. And you never know. I'm not trying to slam on anybody or anything like that. I'm just trying to put it out there that sometimes your best experienced guys are the guys that's here every day and does the job every day. And that should be what should be taken into consideration. And so that's what I got to say about that. Thank you.
And this paper you gave us here, this is the old.
No, that's your. This is the new policy that's in the new manual that's being either adopted or being considered.
Okay.
This would be the policy that would replace what's currently in there.
Okay.
All right.
Any other public input? Any council input?
I'm gonna scratch this in there. Just to elaborate on what Kobe said, and I may overstep my bounds, so if I do, raise the flag at me. But why could not you guys adopt a rank structure like the military? I mean, is there, where you have corporals and sergeants and...
You can, but the problem with that is once you advance in the rank, then you are supplemented by that by money, which obviously there's a lack of. So, you
I mean,
can't-
is
you
it
can't-
something that y'all have discussed that as a group?
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
once you get a higher rank, then you're expected to do different things than another officer would do, so you can't
Right.
get the title without.
but my thing is too, if you advance in rank, you're earning that.
Correct.
I mean, you can be, and let me do it in military terms because that's how I know. You can be a substandard private, and that's what you're going to stay. You can be an excellent person, and you're going to make that rank.
Mm-hmm.
Where I don't see, and I'm going to speak for myself here, why we could not talk about that or implement that. There were people that were in the service for 15 years, but somebody that comes in and works their way and makes a good name and does the job gets rewarded for that. And I take your situation, Kobe, for going to the bank robbery. I mean, let's face it. If we have more than 2 people that are going to be standing out there, it's not going to be Amelia police officers. It's going to be 2 of you guys and people from somewhere else. And realistically, I mean, schedule-wise. But my thing is that I can't see. I mean, I know who works, and I know when y'all work. That the issue is going to be, well, when were you hired? That sort of thing. I understand your concern, but I also, there's a way to work this, and I think if we sit and figure it out, that it's going to be, and like you said, you don't want to degrade part-time people, but I know our part-timers are working more than 40 hours sometimes too. So
I'm
you
concerned
can't.
with the 40 hours.
Right, but I mean that's what you base it on, 40 hours and
concerned.
12 hours. And our part-timers aren't working 12 hours. Some of them, but are there more that are working more than
12.
huh?
A minimum of 12 per shift.
Per shift? No, I mean I'm talking total hours per week or per,
Okay.
not per shift for that week worked. So that's, I get what you're saying, and I understand, but there has to be something that we can do together. So there's not, we're not trying to do anything to you or take away. We're trying to find that happy medium. And it's tough. I know it is, and I've stood up here and fought for you guys for the 3 years, almost 4 years I've been up here. But I'd rather us go about this, together than separate. I think that's the best way to do things. And if you can see where we're coming from as a council and looking at money and what we've got going forward, then you guys can see too. I mean, we have to share this information. Otherwise, I don't want it to go back to the way it was. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. So, I've asked Todd if I can be the liaison with chief or with you guys, so we can bring those ideas. Or, if rank structure is something that we can do, and that would be on the chief. You said the seniority gets the better shift. Well, that wouldn't have anything to do with us. It's whoever, that's, I think, taking it broadly and applying it to something that maybe it shouldn't. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't think that's as much to do with us as whoever does your scheduling.
Right, but if it's based down to seniority, like the chief wants it to be, then that it is going to affect me directly. I'm probably going to get the blunt of it because, we do have part-time people here that has been here longer in time than me, but hasn't been full-time as long as me. And with that being said, it's like you put it, when I start, when this person started, I'm trying to be a private citizen here. When this person started, it started out $9.50 an hour. That's what the full-time officer made way back when. And, I walked in off the street, tried to support a family off of that, what have you, and that's what it was, $9.50 an hour. And I stayed here and worked all the time to the current pay as it is now. So I had to make some sacrifices to work here full time and do what I have, and make what I have. The other thing is, I want to clarify something. When I was throwing those numbers at you, like the 40 hours versus the 12 hours or whatever, it doesn't really matter if the part-time employee worked 32 hours a week versus the guy that working a full-time employee. If we only compare and split hairs on it and start throwing in court time, overtime, training time, and all that goes in there, my last pay period, I had 102 hours on that pay period, and 40 hours was a vacation, believe it or not. That was my second week of vacation this year. And that's, and so there's 102 hours right there that was on that last check. And I'm sure Kevin, he sees the numbers sometimes with their payrolls and things. So I just try to make it simple to throw those numbers out there so that people get an understanding that when you start looking at it and you base it on an airplane pilot, for an example, pilots or a pilot is credited by the hours he's in the air, not time in service. So if you're going to fly on an airplane, would you want the pilot with the 12,000 hours, or would you want the pilot with the 28,000 hours? I mean, that's what it boils down to. And and like I said, I'm not trying to be a slam on anybody, but it is affecting me directly because from the old way of doing things, I was senior officer. On the current way of doing things, I'll be third on the list. So, and then as far as going back to the bank robbery scenario, just to put it out there and what have you, it doesn't matter what color that uniform is that's out there on that scene. It's Amelia Police Department's responsibility.
Understand.
And then they have to, and it don't matter if the chief deputy from Claremont County Sheriff's Office was standing there with us on that bank robbery scene. It's whoever's in that blue uniform with Amelia on that badge and patch, he's going to make the command decisions there.
Right.
It doesn't
And that's
matter
what what I'm saying is there's not going to be all of you, the 5 of you that are sitting here, aren't going to be out there at that time.
Right. But
you see what I mean, and I'm splitting hairs because that's the truth of the matter.
I want to clarify that too. So
Okay.
last bank robber we had, we all got called in from home to come here, so there
Yeah.
was
Right.
5 or 10 of us
And-
here. So.
Yeah.
and why one officer's up in Bethel doing a search warrant, I'm in Union Township dragging the guy back here and getting the confession. Hey, when something like that happens, we all get called in here. And as far as the rank structure goes and stuff like that, police departments have a paramilitary uniform structure. That's something that I can't answer. That's something the chief would have to answer. That's his responsibility to answer that to you guys. Because You know, we have a policy, we did have 2 sergeants that was retired, it's been retired and they're gone now. But, you know, that's something that has to be dealt with. The chief has to answer that question because that's beyond my pay grade at that point. You know.
All right, we'll definitely take that in consideration, and just for your information, our whole goal is we're getting ready now to look to hire a full-time and 2 part-timers. So we're moving forward to build the staff, and I believe once we get the staff built, then that's when the rank structure will take effect, and that's when you'll have enough people to have a sergeant and have people under him to work for him. So that is our goal in which we're moving towards, so just to let you know that. Does that answer your question?
Okay.
Any other public input?
I came in right time. Evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. My name's Harry Booth. Sorry I'm late. I work up the road here to get off at 7:30. Here tonight, just to no complaining, throw out a little kudos. Miss Elliott. No, look like it. I want to throw a little kudos to you and our late Vice Mayor, Mr. Pollock. A few months back when they brought this young man home for his last ride up here at Nuri, you and Mr. Pollock were out there along the route. I like that. Showed that you guys had, I don't know how to say class, but you guys were there to support this young man. And I just want to say, you know, I'm just a little person that lives here in the village, but just, I know a lot of people don't say, hey, we appreciate that. I do.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate that. Back in September, Officer Shane Olson, I seen it twice go above and beyond his duty. 2 doors down from me, one of my neighbors had a dog that was hit. Officer Olson took the time, he saw it, he stopped, got these people and stayed there with them until they come up and got their dog. That made a difference. Me and my wife are big animal lovers. Second time, my wife, who is a asthmatic, severe COPD, she had an asthma attack one morning. I was at work, couldn't come. She called 911. Shane showed up. Shane stayed right there with her till UT showed up. And then Shane took the time to call me at work to tell me what was going on with her. That I appreciate. Let's see what, October. She's been out of the hospital so many times. October, this young lady right here. We appreciate all you officers. We really do. I appreciate it because this young lady right here stayed with my wife while she was having another asthma attack and notified me. And I just want to say how grateful we are to have these men and women on our police department. That's it. That's all I've got to say. I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pollock. I appreciate what you guys did. I liked it.
Well, thank you. You're welcome.
So, and I thank you guys. Greatly thank you guys. That's it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Harry.
Any other public input? Any council input?
I just want to say thanks to everybody Sunday, including the police officers that came in to get that parade going. It went off well. This is my first year really being closely involved with it, and I loved it. I thought it was a blast, and so thanks to you guys who came out and gave your time to make sure that everything went okay, and you know all of the members that were there just to.
Even if you had to walk all the way back because
I think we had all of council.
Oh,
there.
tablecloths! Darn it!
We had all.
And the good
council
food that was
there.
cooked
Yeah,
and all
it was
that.
good.
So yeah, I just wanted to add thanks. This is my first. I've had a good year so far. So thanks, guys.
Oh, good. Any other council input?
Let me just put out about the decorating contest again. I know there have been questions. We are going to have a final decision. A little change. I know we had a different date, but we're going to have by the 16th. Yeah, but we're going to decide by the 16th. We'll have the decision here on our 18th. The meeting on the 18th. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. And if you guys are out and you see a cool house, will somebody email me and let me know? 'Cause you guys are out. Well, that's we don't even have to go there.
You want out?
Yeah, I know. I know.
Deerfield's got a few too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're almost up to 40 likes on Facebook
Oh.
for the rec. So if you're not a friend of the rec, go on Facebook. It's Amelia Village Rec. And like us.
Okay.
I've
got one thing, Mayor.
Sure.
Amelia Village Rec.
Okay, 'cause I saw a sign out here out front one day.
Yeah.
I was working, I tried to get on there and it didn't recognize it.
Oh, there is a link on our web. There's a link on the village website.
Did you say that to the camera?
Yes, I did.
All right. Gary, what did you have?
I'd just like to thank Home Depot. Today, I believe Susan was over there freezing with Home Depot. They were decorating the Morse house.
Looks
They did a
good.
good job.
Yeah, they're, looking to help us more in the village, so it was very generous of them to give their employees to give their time and
It was
also
fun. They were a really
decorate.
good crew to work with.
They're
I had a blast. It was fun.
Definitely, I'd also like to thank Home Depot. They have really stepped up here in the last few months. Really willing to work with us and help any way we can to bring this community close. So I think it's great also. Any other council input? I'll go ahead. I have a wedding tonight at midnight. It will be at
For 12.
12, it will be 12, 12, 12,
12 at
12, 12.
12.
They're getting married at midnight. It will be 12 minutes and 12 seconds past. So it'll be 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. So if anybody's interested, somebody put a lot of thought into that. I'm kind of excited about that one if I can stay up that late.
We'll call you.
Any other council input? I need from council to make a motion to go into executive session under revised code 121-22G for discussion to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee.
It's a mouthful. Second.
A motion, I have a second. Roll call vote, Kevin.
Mr. Dickerson. Yay. Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 4-0, one absent.
This time, we will adjourn at 7:49. Go into executive session. If you can go to the back, please.
Mr. Thacker is absent. Ms. Elliott.
Make a motion to call the meeting back to order.
We have 4 present, 1 absent.
Make a motion.
Make a motion?
Yeah.
Second.
Motion and a second, bring it back to order. Roll call vote, Kevin.
Mr.
We don't do this
Dickerson.
very often. Why am I
Ms.
getting this
Gerber.
look?
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 4-0, one absent. We are back in session.
All right.
Do you want to take a short recess, maybe?
For what?
I need to look at something.
Would council like to take a short recess so our solicitor can
Do some
inquire
research.
and do some research?
Can we play on the slides?
I'm telling you.
No, nap. We need to have nap time clock on the rugs. Play the quiet music.
If so, do we have a motion?
Sure.
I have a
make
motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, roll call vote, Kevin.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
We will take
Passes. We are
a
in
short
recess.
recess. This time I'd like to go ahead and bring the meeting back to order. If I could have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
A motion second, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson. Here. Ms. Gerber.
Yay. Here. Yeah.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay. Here.
We are back in session at 8:14 by my watch.
Another piece of info, we have Citizen of the Year, which we normally do January 1st. So have we gotten any responses other than I got a letter from Michelle, so I will share that with council. She had made a suggestion of Mr. Pollock for your consideration, so I will give you a copy of that letter, see if we get any other things. Also, next Tuesday is our council meeting night, correct?
Yes.
We will be giving an award to the oldest living resident in the village of Amelia. So hopefully she will be here. She has a twin sister. They are both 95, I believe. So I thought that was kind of unique to actually have a twin sister that's living also and to be 95 years old.
Good genes.
Other than that, our next council meeting will be Tuesday, December 18th, 2012 at 7 p.m. With that, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
In honor of Bob this night, I would like to make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion and I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much.